Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. We start today's video with a tale of customer service gone awry, featuring a supervisor at a shoe store, a misunderstanding over unisex Crocs, and a particularly irate customer. But before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button, smash the like if you enjoy the content, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a juicy story. We sent someone exactly what they ordered, and they had a grown-up tantrum. So I'm a supervisor in a shoe store. A woman had come in, and one of our part-time associates were on till when she came up. She was extremely rude off the bat, but compared to how she got, relatively calm. She was telling our associate that she ordered shoes online through our website, and they sent her the wrong shoes, which is near to impossible because when we do web orders, the system tells us, no, this isn't right if we scan the wrong barcode, and it's supposed to be checked thoroughly by 2 people before we package it. It's happened before if stores are crazy overwhelmed and things get mixed up, but it's extremely rare, and the store gets in big trouble for the smallest error, like a flyaway stitch because it's supposed to be in mint condition before we send it away. Her problem, our unisex Crocs have a W before the number to symbolize women's, and she thought that meant wide and she wanted medium, so she thought the shoe was wrong. She continued to scream about how we were gaslighting her and lying to her about what the W stood for. Our signed-up members, who don't have to pay anything to sign up, completely free and cardless, and actually get a 10 reward for signing up, get free shipping. And those who aren't signed up have to pay the shipping. She was not signed up, and at the store level, we cannot refund her shipping. It's not possible for me to do, or I would have done it. We cannot change her refund amount physically through the till. If I had cash on hand, this woman was so ridiculous, I would have given her 7 out of my pocket dollars. I spent upwards of half an hour on customer service while this lady's eyes burned into my soul to get her effing $7. I didn't have to do any of this for her. That's not part of my job. I was on hold for a long time. Customer service told me they could refund her the shipping on their end, so that's what I told her while I was talking with them both. I provided the number and everything so she could contact them, and while she was screaming in my face, I profusely apologized that was no one's fault but her own misunderstanding. I was scared she was going to spit in my face, this effing lady. She was in line so we could return the price for the shoes, and not the $7 shipping, which I'm not capable of doing, and there was a mother and young daughter standing in front of her, and she was just swearing and dropping F-bombs left and right. The mother had to turn around and tell her to watch her mouth. This woman was in her early 50s, yelling and screaming. Customer service called me back after she left and explained because she got exactly what she ordered, they couldn't refund her the shipping, which I really wish they'd have told me before she left. So I'm now terrified for the next time she comes in. Holy mother F. Like, we tried to explain to her many times the W stands for women and has nothing to do with the width, and she just got angrier. I told her that I'm doing my best and this issue is not my fault, but I'm really trying. She said because I work there, I'm personally responsible. Literally, her words. I was going to look up her number to call her and tell her, hey, this isn't happening, I'm sorry, but she wasn't a member, so I can't do that. I'm going to relay it to the big boss tomorrow when I talk to her and be like, watch out, apparently. If she comes back and starts making a scene, call the police on her. You have the right to a safe workplace. And our second story. You're not allowed to leave. You have to testify as a witness. This just happened about an hour ago, but here's the backstory. It's a long one. About 2.5 years ago, my apartment was broken into during a camping trip. Some things were stolen, including multiple firearms. A year and a half ago, one of my firearms was found with some kids selling illegal substances in a small city right over the border of the next state. The plea deals fell through, and the girl the cops had initially mentioned was going to trial. I receive a letter in the mail telling me of the court date and location, but it's explicitly not a summons. Whatever, I want my gun back sooner than later, so I go. Both the prosecutor and the assistant prosecutor are out sick. They make us hang around for a while for no reason, and eventually I just leave. They didn't like that, but whatever, being there was legally voluntary. I tell them they can mail me the new date, and I'll deal with it then. 3 weeks go by, and here we are this morning. I get home from work and I check my mail. There are 2 letters, one for the first girl and another for a guy I know as an accomplice from the updates about the girl. His trial is today and hers is tomorrow. I go to the courthouse 40 minutes away and let them know I'm here. Everything's fine. They bring in the jury pool and spend 2 hours getting down to 7 jurors. The trial starts and we're just patiently waiting. 4 cops and 1 other civilian victim/witness. They tell us no worries, this will be super quick. They basically just need to ask if it's the firearm I reported stolen, and I'll be on my way. They call in all the cops who are getting paid this whole time first. Now it's 1 p.m. I've been up for 24 hours on 3 hours of sleep the day before after working a 12-plus hour overnight shift. My entire body is cramping. I'm super uncomfortable. I'm exhausted. I last ate at 10 p.m. The assistant district attorney comes out and tells us they're taking an hour lunch break. I tell her I can't stay and I need to leave. She tells me I'm not allowed to. I already presented as a witness to the judge. I'd been summoned. I hadn't. They can charge me with this or that. One of the cops tells me they could detain me. The judge could order me. After I point out I haven't been summoned, and again, this is voluntary. Basically, they try and strong-arm me when all I want to do is go home. I point out that this guy isn't even the one who I was told was found with my gun. The assistant DA starts explaining how, oh no, he totally was. I don't know who you heard that from. My local PD mentioned the girl by name originally, giving me all the details about the case, then re-emphasizing I really must stay or I'll be charged with a crime. Don't worry though, we'll get you in right away so you can leave soon. Soon being in more than an hour minimum. Here's the thing. The judge issued a sequester order first thing in the morning before jury selection. I say fine and wait. Here comes the single greatest act of malicious compliance I've ever committed in my life. All the attorneys come in, all the jury comes in, the judge makes me swear to tell the truth, I do. As soon as I finish, I blurt out the prosecutor broke the sequester and was telling me about the case during the break. Stop. Everyone except the lawyers out, including me. Eventually, they just bring me back in. The judge again makes me swear to tell the truth, confirms I understand what's happening, tells me the importance of a fair trial, maybe don't witness tamper then, and explains that witnesses are never to volunteer information and are to only answer the questions. You've been summoned and it's a legal obligation. I let him finish and mention that I have never been summoned. He says, then I'm ordering you. Understood? Yes. Everyone comes back in. We all take our oaths again. The prosecutor that was threatening me starts asking questions. Here's the thing. I swore to tell the truth and never agreed to tell it in a way that makes her life easier. She asked me some basic questions, name, age, what I do for work, etc. Then she gets into the actual questions. Do I own weapons? Did I report any stolen around this date? Did I own one of this model? Did I report this model stolen, etc.? Is this your gun? It certainly looks like it. Did the XXX police contact you when it was recovered? No. Who did? Why Police Department, my local PD. Did they give you any details regarding how it was recovered? They said it was allegedly used in a crime by girl's name. Defense objects, and the judge strikes that from testimony. By now, the DA is realizing that she's giving me too much leeway and starts asking for yes or no answers, eventually asks if I'd recognize the serial number if I saw it. I tell her no, and it roughly sums up my questions from her. Then it's the defendant's turn, and it goes exactly as you would expect by now. I answer truthfully, but in favorable wording. You said it looks like your gun, but you can't confirm? I'd need to compare the serial number against the police report or the gun shop, which still has it on record. Do you know who stole your firearm? No. Do you recognize ZZZZ? No. She asked a few more plausible deniability questions, and then I was free to go. I can't wait to be back tomorrow for the girls' trial. I'll probably be much less malicious, but I know the DA will be nervous when she sees me. Court's officially over, so the sequester order's no longer in effect. Good times. And don't worry if I botched her case in this regard. That kid had more than enough charges. He should have taken the plea deal. Edit/update. They ended up calling me at 8:30 and telling me I didn't need to come in today, so I just didn't. OP, I think you did well. They jerked you around and showed too little respect for a citizen trying to do the right thing. And our last story. Revenge on a gas thief. I live in a decent area that's situated a bit out into the country. I know most of my neighbors within a mile by name, and we all help each other out all the time. This includes lending gasoline. I'd filled up the day before. Gas station's 2 miles from the house and has competitive prices, so I knew my tank was supposed to show full. I come out to leave for work and turn the car on like normal and watch the gas gauge rise on back up. Halfway. Okay, no big deal. Parents might have borrowed some. I can ask them when I get home. They say no, they didn't, and offer to let me fill up from the gas cans we keep filled and stored for whatever we might need it for. I top my tank back off with this welcome help and go on in for the night. Next morning, crank up the car and quarter tank. Something fishy's up. Asked my nearest neighbors if perhaps they'd siphoned my tank for an emergency. It's happened before, so figured perhaps that was the explanation. Nope, no one had done so. I figured I could only conclude that there was someone stealing my gas. Time to fix that. I go on to the gas station and fill my tank up again. I also fill a 1-gallon jug most of the way with diesel, then top off the jug with gasoline. The combined mixture now, for all intents and purposes, appears and smells like gasoline. I head on home and set up a pipe with a cap and sink it on into my gas tank, then take it out to be sure there were no leaks seeping into the pipe. I put the pipe back in and anchor it inside my tank's receiving tube, the portion leading down into the gas tank from the cap, and fill it with the gasoline diesel, close my cap, and go in for the night. Come out the next morning to find my neighbor's boyfriend across the street in a panic. I checked the pipe on my car, and sure enough, drained dry. Their car would no longer crank as they had poured their stolen goods into the tank. Diesel plus gas car equals nope. You should have went over to the guy and asked what's wrong. When he answers, I don't know, it wouldn't crank. You should probably answer back, did you put the right kind of gasoline? I mean, did you make sure you weren't putting diesel in there? Because I know that stuff will really mess up your engine. And walk away laughing. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.